Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Esther here. Thank you so much to those who stay in tune with me. Today's topic I'm going to be talking about is the power of forgiveness. This topic is so rich. Forgiveness is important because it sets you free. I wanted to break it down in two parts. So forgiving yourself first and foremost, and then forgiving another person. Now I'm going to start with forgiving yourself first because you are important. You have a responsibility of telling yourself or informing yourself how you want to be treated. If you allow so many thoughts to rummage through your mind, thoughts of late payments, thoughts of failures, thoughts of past mistakes, you are going to beat yourself up for nothing. No matter what you've done, you've made mistakes. I've made mistakes in my life, but I am not going to allow it to define who I am. Rather, I will forgive myself for it. There are some people, even up till now, they look at their lives and they say, I can't forgive myself for this. I lied about my best friend. I was rude to my mum. And because of the words that you've been saying to yourself, you are not allowing yourself to be free. You're allowing the lies to deceive you and make you stay in a low state. A lot of the times, if we are not careful, we can allow our past, unforgiveness, to distract us from healing within. If you cannot forgive yourself, you cannot move on. No matter what you want to achieve, you need to make sure you are confident and whole in yourself before you can move on to the next level. What are you harboring in your heart that doesn't allow you to forgive yourself? Because how you see yourself determines so much. You cannot be successful if you don't forgive yourself. You cannot be influential or impactful if you don't love yourself. There are times even where our flaws can make us question who we are. Because we've done wrong, because we've made a mistake, we think, okay, that's it. You cannot just give up like that. The best way to identify if you've forgiven yourself is how you treat yourself. Why is it so important to see yourself in such a positive light? Not to say that you're boastful or you're trying to show off, but if you cannot forgive yourself, it reflects on the way you see others and it reflects on the way you will see your future. Unforgiveness creates anger, resentment, stress, sleep issues, and even physical problems. Unforgiveness can actually affect your health. If you can't sleep well, that's a problem. If you can't eat well, that's a problem. If you can't rest well, that's a problem. Forgiving yourself is freedom in yourself. And when you choose and pinpoint who you want to forgive and what you want to forgive about yourself and when you're going to forgive yourself, you're actually delaying your healing process. Forgiveness starts with healing, inner healing. Are you treating yourself with tender, loving kindness? Are you sure you're not being affected by what you see and allowing yourself to rush greatness? Because greatness cannot be rushed. And the minute you try to rush, you will look back and say, why did I force myself to be in this position if I cannot handle it? And if that is you, forgive yourself. You wanted to set up a business, but it flopped. Forgive yourself. You spoke to that friend out of anger, but you said something that added to the pain. Forgive yourself. There is no point in digging into your past and allowing yourself to be crippled or affected internally, which means that if you don't know how to forgive yourself now, it will not only affect you, your health, your body, your mindset. If you don't have good health, you're not going anywhere. If you don't have a positive mindset, you can't think straight. And if you're not sleeping well, what's the essence? I also want to encourage people who struggle with waking up in the middle hours of night and they're struggling with their thoughts and they're putting themselves down while it's in bed. You wake up in the morning and you feel so miserable because of what you fed your mind throughout the night. You slept with anger, you wake up with anger. You slept with unforgiveness, you wake up with unforgiveness. You have to remember this, that forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. It's not about how others see you, but it's about how you see yourself. Forgiving yourself enables you also to embrace peace. What peace are you lacking in this season? If we're not careful, we can look in our past and say, oh, I miss those days. Look how fun my life was. I had so much fun. I went to 5 countries in 2018. I wrote my first book. I got my first job. And a couple of years later, you're dreading and saying, oh, I wish I went back to my past. Those were the days. It's good to reflect on your past, but it's not good to stay there. When I wrote this book, I remember thinking about what represents completion. And completion has a lot to do with how you see yourself. I'm going to read chapter 5 about the power of forgiveness. And for those of you who have got my book, Thank you so much. The title is called You Need His Perfect Peace. God will continue dealing with us until we learn to stay peaceful in the storm. Nothing shows our spiritual maturity more than staying calm when our circumstances are not calm. Stability is a sign of maturity. Now, this is the test of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very popular topic, both in the church and in our world. Remember that in as much as forgiveness can set someone else free, it also sets your mind free as well. When refusing to forgive, do you realize that you are inflicting pain on yourself? When I choose to truly forgive and let go of those that hurt me in the past, I am giving my mind the tender loving care it needs. Not only that, I am honoring God because His word speaks on forgiveness in Mark 11:25, where He speaks on forgiving those that have mistreated us. Isn't it funny how easy it is to set regulations on who we want to forgive? But when we have done wrong, we want God to forgive us. The true test is in forgiveness. We won't always get it right because we are not perfect. Remember, you and I are limited resources, so you don't need to be too hard on yourself. If your friend offends you by bringing up a situation from your past, it is very easy to retaliate and want to do the same back to be even. But remember that two wrongs don't make a right. In as much as we may want to forget what a friend or family member did to us in our past, it is so important to let go of the situation and move on. A wise man or woman is able to do this because they know that overanalyzing the problem will bring chaos. It will make you dysfunctional with other people. So no matter what anyone else has done, learn to let it go freely and give your mind peace. It will liberate enormous amounts of energy and creativity. If you are struggling with forgiveness relative to a friend or family member, ask yourself if you have offended anyone else. The woman who committed adultery in the Bible knew she had done wrong, and the Pharisees wanted to stone her to death. Jesus came in and said, "If any of you have not sinned, then cast the first stone," in John 8, verses 1 to 11. The atmosphere was quiet because they knew that their sins were the same as the adulterous woman. We get this happening all the time because our human nature is selfish. We do think about ourselves at the forefront because we want to protect our image and reputation. But how is this helping you to grow in wisdom? Forgiveness is working on your behalf to make you complete in Christ. It is not meant to be used when it is convenient, but all the time, even when it seems confusing. Why is it important to not choose when to forgive? Because in other words, you're saying that you will choose when to be happy. In all circumstances, you have to be happy. Be willing to forgive, at the same time, being cautious that you don't have any faults. We are quick to check other people, but when have we truly checked our own hearts? Why are we living in a world today where there is so much confusion and pain when we know the answer is already in our hands? You're not just setting yourself free, but you're setting others free also. We have the solution of what it means to be truly free, but the test is being able to forgive freely. Just hearing someone's name alone can make you feel uncomfortable, and this happens when you still have a bit of resentment towards them. This is how you know that the key to ignite forgiveness must take place in our lives. And let's be sincere, guys, when you hear someone's name, or you hear what they've done, or they're doing well, sometimes your heart triggers you. It's like, you know, that feeling that is not comfortable. That's a strong sign that you still haven't let go. We should not expect God to meet our needs if we can't obey this command. And not only that, unforgiveness blocks blessings. There are opportunities, there are desires that we all want to see. But without forgiveness, we won't be able to see them. You do not want to miss out on your blessing because of your unforgiveness. Our lives are meant to bring peace to other people, to enable them to make the right decisions when they are broken, weak, and confused. Forgiveness is working for your good, and those around will see that you are truly walking in freedom. Why is this also important? When you forgive, your life blossoms, your health blossoms, the way you speak blossoms. I don't want to be around those who have mood swings. Today you're happy, the next day you're angry. No, don't get me wrong. I know that some may have not got to the stage where they have managed to control their emotions. But as the days are going by, Let life teach you something. When you have forgiven yourself, even when you've done wrong, that is your power. No one can make you feel bad for what you've done in the past because you've forgiven yourself and admitted it. Forgiveness is such an attractive trait that must not be taken for granted and used appropriately. In Romans chapter 12 verses 18, it says that if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do you know how easy this is to read but difficult to apply? It is because everyone around us has different personalities. So therefore, it will have an impact on how we perceive them. Forgiveness is working on your behalf to do you good because it contributes to a successful life, not only from a materialistic perspective, but good health and peace of mind, the two key attributes I mentioned earlier. Nonetheless, if you are in a disagreement with someone, it is still good to respect them and have peace, although the relationship may not be the way it used to. However, for your own sanity, aim to live at peace with everyone. I love what I wrote in this book. It is still good to respect them and have peace of mind. When you forgive someone, you're able to respect them as well as yourself. You may not have to necessarily be close to them, but there's beauty in being able to honor them. You don't have time to fix these pieces together. If you have done your part, rest and let God take over. At the same time, you must remember that you cannot carry everyone. And as I always mention in my videos, your audience is not other people's audience. It is your choice on who you take on your journey. But most importantly, have a heart of freedom and openness. Be open to people. Forgive people. Let go. Set yourself free. Forgiveness shows that you are mature enough to let go of the offense and cut the cord of pride. Not only that, you can make someone feel uncomfortable. If God always forgives us of our faults and downfalls, what makes it difficult for us to do the same when we don't even deserve it? This is why God is patient with us, because we are unreliable. When you want to be free, you have to admit that you are struggling with a certain type of behavior. For example, you can be sitting next to someone that has hurt you without knowing and eventually starting to build resentment in your heart. Learn how to mature and practice mercy, because we may never know the burden that people carry behind closed doors. It takes patience and understanding to get to the point where we can show love regardless of how we feel about a situation. At its essence, our forgiveness is a restorative process which strengthens and makes us complete in our weakest places. It harnesses our inner divinity and changes our hearts to become Christ-like. Some people find it really hard to forgive, simply because their past holds them back or the pain of the situation has had an impact on them going forwards. Remember that God won't give you what you aren't ready for, and this is why He tests you in the area of patience and forgiveness. The solution to your answers of life is to forgive, let go, set yourself free so that you can receive what the Lord has got in store for you. You don't want to wake up every day living the same life because you've chosen to allow pride to be your comfort. You have to lay down your pride. And this is something that I've been learning in this season, is to die to self. When you can die to yourself, it sets you free. It gives you so much peace. You are able to function and focus so well. Not to say that people should walk all over you. No, there has to be a limit and there has to be wisdom applied in that. You know that life is not just about you. When other people are talking about their progress and what they've achieved, be silent and be happy for them. As I wrote this book, I too have applied all that is being said to be better and to inspire you. I don't believe any human being can say they have found it easy to forgive, because honestly, it takes strength. And although it takes strength, there's also something attached to that strength. And those are the blessings that you've been praying for. Forgiveness allows you to break free from self-limiting beliefs and attitudes. Your character shows greatly when you are in tune with having a merciful heart. It frees the mental and emotional energies so that you can apply them in creating a better life. The goals that you set for yourself will be fulfilled just by agreeing with forgiveness and applying it. Because if this is not the case, then it is more likely that you are trapped in resentment, anger, pain, or suffering of some kind, and this behavior will limit you, not just for now, but for the future. Forgiveness naturally makes you become kinder, more generous, and caring to others. It puts a smile on your face. It is easy to be around people that can forgive quickly, and these are the people that make your life easy. Who doesn't want to be around someone who forgives quickly? Imagine being around people that have grudges consistently, bringing up your past, bringing up what you've done, bringing up your mistakes. Oh gosh, please, please, please. It's 2020. Let's get serious. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your relationships. In the book, how healthy are they, as well as the thoughts you process? Every aspect of your life will change for the better when forgiveness is part of your daily life. Now, there is a difference between forgiving someone and mastering forgiveness towards others. Forgiving one person can be easy. However, the true test of character is forgiving multiple times. Learning to forgive people that have offended you will improve your attitude. Do not allow unforgiveness to make you bitter. We all need mercy and compassion. You don't know possibly who your offender will become tomorrow, let alone need. Because remember that God places people in our lives in different seasons. You can learn from them and they can learn from you. Forgiveness is an immensely practical and helpful skill. The amount of people that fall sick due to an unforgiving heart is countless. We carry so much emotion and rage that we take it out on those we love without realizing. Everyone has a problem or two, as long as we are still living. But to take the burden off, see life from the perspective of the other person, listening attentively to what they have to say. You could have caused an offense without realizing it until they are confident enough to open up. There are times where people have been offended by what we've said, and it may take time for them to open up. But give them that time, and before you speak, listen. Don't retaliate back. Let them vent. Because I tell you, when someone has held grudges and unforgiveness in their heart for a long time, it's very likely that they may say things out of anger. And when they do say it, try your best not to allow it to get to you. When someone comes to you and starts opening up, see it as a blessing, because it is not in people's agenda to do this all the time. When someone has been offended by you, the best thing they do is to be silent. But a real friend who loves you will call you and say, look, sis bro, this is what you did to me, and I just want to talk to you about it as mature friends. You don't know how much that person loves you. Not everybody will do this, depending on the nature of the friendship. You have to be such a blessed person to have a friend to call you and say, look, sis, let us talk, because the person doesn't want to lose you. Some keep their pain in because it makes it difficult to cope, causing the mind to be dysfunctional. Every time someone is trying to get close, out of fear, we push them away, depending on who they are. For the ladies, however, it could be that you had a terrible breakup, and when another man tries to approach you, your heart has hardened. Why do we treat those that genuinely care about us with disrespect, and those who don't know our value with respect? So these are 4 practical steps I've written in this book to help you forgive. Number 1, say the name of who you need to forgive and explain why. This may look weak, but it isn't. It is a strength. Number 2, acknowledge and own up about how you truly feel in the situation. When you are genuine, it creates an atmosphere of honesty and trust. Number 3, recognize the benefits you will receive from forgiving. This includes peace, joy, good health, and even confidence. And 4, commit to forgiving consistently for the benefit of being complete in yourself. Romans 12 verses 18, as I emphasized before. If possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. And finally, our conflicts can become stepping stones to stronger relationships when we make a commitment to understand and forgive each other in order to refrain from divisiveness. We cannot afford to be ignorant of the enemy's devices, designed to keep relationships and friendships at odds with each other. The enemy and our minds cause offense over harmless situations and statements that happened in the past, which more or less could have been sorted out in less than 5 minutes. It is the enemy's agenda to spread division. Despite this, we must endeavour to activate unity and forgiveness. You are doing yourself a favour, and therefore God will have his rightful place in your life. Where God is taking you requires your full attention to wholeness and commitment in the forgiveness and completion stage. So this is all in this book in chapter 5. If you would like a copy of my book Completion, visit my website on www.authenticworth.com and I will also sign it for you as well. The power of forgiveness is dependent on you. Once you can forgive yourself, things around you will start to change and you will start to have even more greater success and greater opportunities. And more importantly, God Himself will be able to meet your needs. When you can forgive, you are making yourself whole. And you are saying that I don't want to be the way I was before. Don't allow people to tell you what forgiveness is before you apply it into your life. If you're struggling to forgive someone right now, my advice is for you to call them and speak to them. Don't let it linger. You do not know what tomorrow will hold. Many thanks for listening to my video. I will surely see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.